What's up, everybody? This is Omar from the third rail. First of all, I want you to listen to the show. Give us an opportunity. Give us a chance, man. Start passing by. You might learn something about the United States politics of what's going on in America. You understand? Or Russia, wherever. We have 3 million subscribers, and they're all from India, from Algeria, from all over the world, and we appreciate that. We really, really appreciate these people, but we need the opportunity for these people to give us a chance. So today's show, I'm going to start to discuss certain things like what's going on with anti-Semitism, in the United States. Anti-Semitism is that it's a real thing here and all over the world about, the people. All right, everybody, hang out with me, please. Anti-Semitism is about people who hate Jewish people, right? Is that it? Who are people? But sometimes the Jewish community overreacts. For example, we have a situation a couple of years ago. Remember a couple of years ago? A couple of years ago, we had the first Muslim congresswoman in Congress. Her name was Omar. Then they had this AIPAC. AIPAC is this big Jewish organization, Israeli organization, that spends $50 to $60 million a year in elections to defeat people who are against Israel or against the Palestinian, against the Israeli. So she said one word. It's all about the Benjamin. It's all about the money. It's true. Everybody came down on this lady. They tried to get her out of Congress. They had to show her who's the boss. All these Jewish congressmen and women came up and gave all these speeches about, well, she needs to learn about the anti-Semitism trope. I don't understand. It is about the fucking money, isn't it? AIPAC spends about $50 to $60 million a year to defeat candidates. And it's the only lobbying group that represent a different entity like Israel who are able to spend money in Ohio and Iowa and Pennsylvania to defeat American politicians in the United States. Imagine if an Arab lobbying group was spending money for pro-Palestinian. They had that in the 70s. It was called Abscam. Abscam in the 1970s was this undercover thing that was done by a Jewish organization to dress Jews or Americans as Arabs, with the headdress and all that, and there's like a Arab, like sheiks, and have to give money to politicians, and they called it Abscam. The whole idea was to make Arab money poisonous in American politics, so they could not affect Israel's treatment of the Palestinians. But it's okay for Israel to do it. So the whole issue was Ilhan Omar. You see her. She was the first Muslim congresswoman from Minnesota. She's a Somalian refugee. She had a rough life. She's very smart. So they had to show her who's the boss, everybody. She was on TV because she said the word, what about the Benjamins? Now we move on. We always have this organization. This organization is called the ADL. Now, this organization in the 1990s was raided by the FBI of the United States because this Jewish organization was supposed to be protecting Jews against anti-Semitism. That's their job. They were spying on almost 600 organizations and American citizens. Imagine a civil rights organization that was spying on other Americans and organizations like Muslims and all that stuff, and they had to raid the place, and they found out that the DAL was spying on America. Now you're wondering why I'm saying all this shit today, right? Why am I saying all this? We had an issue here. Kanye West, he went crazy. He's a sick individual who has mental issues.
And the goddamn election was.
See these idiots. He has anti-Semitism. Kanye West. Kanye West is a famous guy. He's a famous rapper. He has Adidas, Easy. He was worth like $2 billion, but he has bipolar issues. And if he doesn't take his medicine, he tells the truth. So what did Kanye West say? He said there's a lot of Jews in Hollywood. There's a lot of Jews in Hollywood. I mean, it's not a lie. There's a lot of Jewish lawyers. Yeah, there are a lot of Jewish lawyers. I mean, it doesn't mean they're bad. There's a lot of Jewish doctors. Yeah, I mean, it's true because they're educated, and that's good for them. That means they are very successful people in the United States. Very successful, no jealousy here. But the whole issue is you have this guy. This guy, he's a basketball player. He's trying to find his own, he's trying to find his voice. A lot of black people in America are trying to find themselves. Sometimes they say they're Muslims, sometimes they say they're Hebrews, sometimes they say they were the kings. Because they were robbed of that history during the slavery. When they were slaves in the United States, they were robbed of their identity. So they don't have nothing to identify with. Like me, I could say I'm from Yemen. I'm an Arab American. I have a history. I have land in Arabia. My grandparents were there. So I could talk about that. But an African American or Black American who lives here, he cannot say that because he was cut off from that when he was born in here as slaves and slave ships. Everybody knows that. So Kyrie Irving, this is a book. It's called Hebrews to Negroes or something like that. I haven't read it, and I really don't have no time to read something like that. So what he does is he tweets on Twitter a link to this movie. It's a documentary about the Israeli blacks. They have a group of black extremists. When I used to go to Manhattan in New York, we used to see them in the corner. They yell and scream about being the original Jews and all that stuff. And nobody pays attention. All right, good for you. I mean, who gives a fuck? I mean, really? Okay, I mean, who really gives a damn? We're living in an age where nobody gives a damn about anybody. I mean, let's be honest with that, So he tweets the link on Twitter. Okay, so he does that. All of a sudden, everybody and their mother comes out and they want to emasculate this guy. They emasculated him. This is him. The ADL is nothing but a fucking mafia. In the first 24 hours, they come into the situation. They take $1 million from the Brooklyn Nets and from Irving Gervin. 500,000 from him and 500 right away. Give us $1 million. Come on, you gotta pay. You say something stupid. Yeah, you can't talk like that. So why does it have to be about money? How about education? How about reconciliation? How about sitting down with the guy? So the guy, he's being blackmailed by the ADL. I mean, I don't care if I get in trouble or my fucking this shit, but it's the truth. When the ADL comes in and wants millions of dollars from this person who says something stupid or is an anti-Semite, all of a sudden, why should they give you millions of dollars? If you're in it for the money, then you're not there to defend Jews against defamation. And how did he defame Jews, this guy? He didn't say nothing wrong. He didn't say nothing wrong. He just tweeted something about a fucking documentary. They said there was a lot of anti-Semite. He apologized. After he apologized, then they said he has to meet with all the rabbis in Brooklyn. After he wants to meet, then he has to meet with this guy. Every day the list goes on and on and on and on and on. What they doing is they humiliating this person. And it's going to backfire. Because blacks are not going to fucking stay there and watch this shit going on as this mafia-like style of pushing this man all over the place goes on. All right. I'm going to share some stuff with you here. I hope the sound. There you go. Okay, hang out with me. I hope you enjoy the show. Try to learn something. Don't fucking go and leave, man. You know what I'm saying? Stay here and hang out. All right, something is wrong. Something's good. Okay. All right. We got to go like this. And we got to move this here. I guess, all right? We got to do this. I don't know why, but it just has to. What's this? All right? Forgive me if you can. Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix this. I don't understand what's going on. Okay. Well, we're not looking for this guy. Okay. This is this is him. Where is he? I'm looking for you. Where is it? We're gonna get that later with okay. This is Irving. Kyrie Irving. He's a basketball player. Listen to what he has to say.
I'm a part of the Christian community. I'm part of the Jewish community. I'm part of the Buddhist community. I'm part of the Christian community. I'm part of all spiritualities and religions that you can think of. I am not just a one-dimensional religion practitioner. I see
Yeah.
the truth in all of the deities, all the gods. Okay, I'm a part of the Christian community. I'm part of the Jewish community. I'm part of the Buddhist community. I'm part of the Christian community. I'm part of all.
Let me shut it down. So as you can see here, what he's saying is he has no prejudice. He's not a racist man. He has no racism. He does not anti-Semite. Okay, he made a mistake by tweeting. Okay, if you're making a mistake by tweeting, then there's a fucking problem that you have to pay $1 million or $2 million and lose 5 games or 6 games now for not playing basketball. And every game he's losing like $500,000 or $1 million a game. There's a problem with that. Now you're not defending anti-Semitism right now. What you're doing is you're fucking. Excuse my language. You are being mafia-like. This is mafia style of dealing with people. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, let me share the screen more. I'm gonna share the screen with you. We're gonna go over a lot of stuff here. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it. Stay with me. Stay and watch the show. Where you gonna go, man? I know you guys are not sleeping in India right now. You're tired as fuck. I hope you guys. I hope there's sound. That's what my problem is. I always don't know if there's a sound or not. To be careful sharing screen audio. If you have a guest, they will hear themselves. I don't really give a damn. Okay. This is another video of.
Where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America? Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid, learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why, when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create. And it was something I shared. And I'm telling.
So what he's saying here, Kyrie Irving saying that, where were you? I mean, we have issues. 300 million blacks were killed in the United States as slaves. We had a bad history. We are people in pain. We need to heal. We have these issues. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate Jews. I don't hate the Koreans. I don't hate Arabs. I don't hate everybody. It's just I'm questioning my problems. I need to heal as a human being. Black people need to heal. Listen, I'm not black, okay? I'm not black, right? Let me make myself a little bigger so you can see me better, right? Is it? No, I made myself smaller. All right, let me put that there. I'm not black, but I know that black people in America, they ain't paying, man, because they have no equity. They have nothing to lean back on. Their families were separated. They were sold. Their women were raped. Their children were sold to different states, and they could not see their children. They were beaten like animals. So the whole issue here is it's okay for black people to question the problems that they have with the system. And there is systemic racism in the United States. Let's not kill each other. I know people like. Give me a second. So the whole idea here is Kyrie Irving is like any young black American. He made it in sports. He's rich now, and it's okay. So he's asking questions. Who am I? Where am I from? Am I Jewish? Am I Muslim? Am I an Arab? Because he fasted in Ramadan. He fasted in Ramadan. Last year he played basketball while he's fasting in Ramadan. So he's experimenting. He's trying to find himself. That's all he's trying to do. But when you have these groups like the mafia, like the Jewish groups, give us the money. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. He's going to say, fuck you at the end. Excuse my language. Why? And it's going to backfire in the black community. Let's go over here. Okay. It's going to backfire. It's going to, this is.
Email you don't.
Hold on. I think this is guy's name. I don't know. I forgot. It's Smith or something. Yeah. He's one of the most famous entertainer, in sports. There he goes. All right. This is black people reacting to what's going on to Kyrie Irving, and it's going to backfire because I could see Kanye West. He's sick. He needs medication, and all of it. They came down. They cost him about $2 billion in one day. You can't do that to people. You cannot take people's livelihood as a punishment. It doesn't work. You're just going to create more hatred, more animosity toward you, and more people who are fans of these people or who listen. They're going to say, look what they're doing to this guy. I didn't give a fuck about Kanye West. I think he has a big mouth. He's stupid. He needs help. He should get some help. My issue here is with Kyrie Irving. I think he's being wrong, and what they're doing to him is wrong. It's very wrong because, okay, he apologized. Okay, let's move on. He gave $500,000. Let's move on. No, I have to meet with rabbis in Brooklyn. I have to go to the Holocaust Museum. He might have to do a fucking tour for the next 2 years because he did a tweet. That's not good. Let's see what Smith has to say.
America, don't think I have not noticed what you have done.
See?
Kyrie Irving, minimum 5 games. Ime Udoka, minimum 1 year suspension. Usually when there's a suspension, there's an end date.
Right.
I'm seeing 2 black men here that's got the word indefinite attached to their exiles.
Yep.
I don't like that. That is inconsistent.
This is the reaction you're gonna get when you start fucking playing mafia style. I'm gonna break your legs. Give us $1 million. Oh, you tweeted? So what? He tweeted. So what? He tweeted. So what? Doesn't mean anything. Okay, he apologized. So why are you still punishing this guy?
With what we have customarily seen transpire in the world of sports.
Yeah.
So when 2 brothers mess up,
Right.
it's got indefinite attached to it.
Yeah.
But if it's anybody else,
Yep.
you get a definitive point which is suspended and or you're fired and you're free to go work elsewhere, whatever the case may be. But in these cases, you got indefinite attached to them where their futures are left dangling.
Yep.
What are y'all trying to say?
Yep.
I thought we were listening.
Yep.
I thought black people were going to be heard.
Yeah.
I thought our frustrations that come reeking through the screen and beyond was finally being absorbed and listened to with the level of sensitivity various communities throughout the United States just a couple of years ago said we spent decades, if not century, not paying enough attention to. But suddenly this stuff happens and here we are again. Let Kyrie Irving back. Let that man play.
That's right.
He comes back, he issues his apology,
That's
he
it.
goes back to playing basketball.
Move on.
Because that's what you would do for anybody else.
Right.
As black people,
Right.
we need to stand up and demand you do that for Kyrie too. We ain't supporting what he did.
Right.
We're not saying he didn't make a gross error.
Yep.
But forgiveness and compassion is supposed to be a part of who
Excuse
we
me.
are. Let's not forget that when it comes to this brother.
All right.
America.
Hold on. That's pure truth. What he's saying, he's telling you, you can't push a man too much. You can't hurt a man too much. There's a certain threshold that you will reach when you're dealing with somebody. Let me fix the lights here. Give me a second, my brothers. Let me fix the lights here. There's a problem here with the lights. Okay. The studio, I'm all alone here. There's nobody here to help me. Yeah. Okay. Now, let me see. Wait, hold on. Come on, man. Yeah, now that's too fucking light, man. I don't want that. I'm gonna shut this shit off. I'm just gonna be me, all right? So let's hear more from other black activists and black people in power or in the sport industry. This is another. I mean,
because when blacks have it, seems like we suffer.
Hold on, my brother. Hold on. I hope this shit is working. Do you hear any noise, guys? Do you hear any voice? All 3 million of you, you don't hear nothing? Where are you? Where are you? All right. Here we go. This is his name is Shannon Sharbo, parody, I think. That's not his name. Okay, this is a parody of his account, but this is what he said in response to carrier skip is not about comparing pain. There's no doubt that Jews suffered greatly in the Holocaust and they had issues. But here, the man just tweeted something. He didn't do a big deal. You cannot put all the weight of the Holocaust or the Jewish hate or anti-Semitism on the neck of these two guys and punish them severely by taking away the way they make their living. What they did to fucking Kanye West is crazy, but it's crazy. Taking $2 billion of his wealth in one day, 24 hours. And this guy, Kyrie Irving, because he tweeted, all of a sudden he has to pay $1 million. He can't play, and he's losing like, I don't know, $1 million a day of not playing without pay. That's not punishment. That's fucking going overboard. And I'm going to show you what happens when it's other groups.
In America were when we declared war on them and drove them off their land. Yeah. I don't know, and I don't care. Right. All I know is
I'm white and I can't say shit. I don't want to offend the Jews. Okay, let's move on. I want to show you something else now. Okay, now let's go to other groups. Okay. Hold on. I want to show you something. Hold on. Okay. All right. This is, everybody know who this guy is.
Countries like Japan.
Right, let me shut him down. This is Tucker Carlson, right? We all know who Tucker Carlson is. He's in Fox News. He's always talking about white replacement, all this stuff. So he says something about white replacement and that people are bringing immigrants. Then the same ADL here, I got it. The same ADL here, who got fucking dick energy when it comes to black people, tried to do the same thing to Tucker Carlson. Let's see what they try to do, okay? Let's see. I have to share the screen again. My apologies, okay? I'm not very, okay. Oh, I was sharing anyway. Wow, I was sharing anyway. Look at that. Oh, hold on. I hope I'm not messing up the sound. I have issue with the sound, man. Sometimes we go on for hours and there's no share audio, okay? Here we go. So, okay, got it. I got it, okay. Okay, so Tucker Carlson goes on and talks about white replacement and things like that.
Jewish people.
Wait. And then DL with this bald-headed motherfucker comes in and tries to do the same thing they doing to Irv Kerry to these black guys. Because these black guys have no fucking protection. I don't understand. This is what he tried to do to Tucker Carlson.
Tucker has got to go.
All right. Try to get him fired.
The ADL is the oldest anti-hate organization in the world.
Okay.
But what we saw happen last week really represented a new low.
Okay.
When he went on the air and essentially introduced what's known as the Great Replacement Theory.
the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement, if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But they become hysterical because that's what's happening, actually. Let's just say it. That's true.
The Great
crazy.
Replacement Theory, sometimes it's known as the White Replacement Theory. It's this idea, as it's propounded today, that there are a secret group of Jewish people who are manipulating events and seeking to overrun the United States with immigrants who might be Muslim or Mexican.
Yeah, leave the Muslims
Black
out of it.
people.
Leave the Muslims out
It's
of
part of a concerted effort to commit what they call white genocide.
Mafia.
Obviously, it's absurd.
Okay.
It's fiction.
All right.
But it's dangerous.
Okay. This is the guy who started it. The French guy. Oh, it has to be the French.
Proponents of this idea have been responsible for some of the.
All right, you get the idea. The ADL went after Tucker Carlson.
Vulnerable minority.
Wait, hold on. They went after to get him fired, right? They went to get him fired, like they just do whatever. They're gonna go there. They're gonna say Tucker Carlson has to go. Now listen how he responds to them. Now you have to listen to. I don't agree with this guy. I think he's a fucking piece of shit. He's 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 one of those propagandists. I mean, he's doing this stuff, creating this animosity and grievances with poor white people. They're being replaced. Nobody's replacing white people. They're just not having sex. That's all. They're not having sex. They're not having babies.
National state, thus likely ending any semblance of equal representation and protection.
Listen to this.
In this situation, the Jewish population would be increasingly politically and potentially.
This is the ADL on the website about Israel and the Palestinian people. In the United States, oh, you can't say that. You can't say we were replacing white people. No, but in Israel, it's okay. Arabs are not allowed to have any constitutional rights.
Potentially physically vulnerable. It is unrealistic and unacceptable, the ADL continues, to expect the state of Israel to voluntarily subvert its own sovereign existence and nationalist identity and become a vulnerable minority within what was once its own territory, end quote. Now, from Israel's perspective, this makes perfect sense. Why would any democratic nation make its own citizens less powerful?
Right.
Isn't that the deepest betrayal of all?
Yeah.
In the words of the ADL, why would a government subvert its own sovereign existence?
Right.
Good question.
Yes.
National state, thus likely.
All right. You hear what he said? He shut them down. He shut them down. After that, there was no, well, you got to fire Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson didn't give $1 to the ADL. He didn't have to apologize. He didn't have to meet no rabbis. He didn't have to go to a Holocaust museum. He didn't have to go to Israel. He didn't have to do shit. That's power right here. But this guy is black. And you know what we do? We beat up on black people. But this woman, she said one word. It's about the Benjamins. It's a rap song. 24 hours a day they were on her. They're trying to get rid of her out of Congress because she said that. And it's the truth. It's all about the fucking money, man. The AIPAC is one of the most influential Israeli Jewish organization in Washington. Imagine every year they give hundreds of people in Congress free trip to Israel. They pay for their hotels. They pay for the food. They have buses that take them around Israel and show them, and they bring them back every year. Isn't that bribery? Isn't that bribery? Why will the United States congressman or woman take money from a lobby group and go visit another country to try to push this scenario or to create this, or to affect the way they vote inside the legislative bodies? It's true. أهلا 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 يا هلا name. Salam alaikum. You understand? So there's a problem here. He has to pay millions of dollars, lose millions of dollars, because he said, because he did a link to some fucking dumb movie called Hebrews to the Negroes, and they're all over him. They are all over him. Let me do this like that. I need to be big now. Oh shit, I messed up. My apologies. Okay. So, the lights are not good today, but that's all right. That's a big problem. Tucker Carlson is okay. Tucker Carlson is okay. But Kyrie Irving has to pay the ultimate price. Either you're going to do what we want, or we're going to take your money. He already lost money. Nike, the shoes he has, Nike, they already suspended. He already lost millions of dollars over a tweet, man. People should be given a second chance. You cannot push on people like that and expect them to be appreciative or on your side. I'm not going to be on your side if you do that shit to Kyrie Irving. That's not right. I don't care. He said something wrong. He apologized. Everybody moves on. That's how it happens in life. Sometimes I'll do something wrong. I'll say something about somebody, and he'll be upset. And I'll say, listen, I was wrong. I am sorry. I made a mistake. I didn't mean it to be heard. I didn't mean to say it the way I said it. but it happened, and I apologize. And everybody moves on. But you cannot say, Omar, you got to give me $1 million. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. You got to do that. If not, we're going to make you lose everything you own. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't care. I'm fucking scared of these motherfuckers. Fuck them, because I think they're wrong. When you're wrong, you're wrong. They pushing people like that. All right, let's move on. So we did that. As you know, Russia, right? Russia. The Russians, Putin, right? This is Putin, right? The idiot. Putin was getting cocky. Russia is a peaceful nation. Russia as a country historically is peaceful. They don't have no issue. They had communism, they had all that shit. But if you look at 200-300 years, they never went outside their border to create or take over countries. I went to Africa, I went to the Middle East to take over countries. Russia historically has been a peaceful nation. They've always been under attack. Historically, Russia has always been under attack by other powers, the Mongols or the Nazis, whatever. And thank God, winter in Russia always saves Russia. Now the problem we had is under Putin here. Let me put his face. I gotta put his face. Let's share the screen. All right, give me a second, my brothers. All right. Here you go. Nope, you gotta put that without. Okay, I didn't know you had to do that. All right, I got it. Okay, this is Putin, right? Now, Putin was doing okay. Russia's economy was doing okay. They had a middle class. They had no problem with nobody. But NATO was also wrong. NATO was moving in. Let me go to the back. In 1989, when the Soviet Union collapsed, it was Ukraine, Belarusia, and Russia, because they were federation. They said they don't want to be part of Russia no more. Then Russia, the communism collapsed. So what NATO and the West did, they made a big mistake. Instead of taking Russia in and saying, come in, we build your economy, we work with you, let's be neighbors, we share the same thing, we're all white, we're all Christian. I mean, let's not be enemies no more. What they did, they did the opposite. They took all these Warsaw countries that used to be part of Warsaw or part of the Soviet Union umbrella of defense against NATO. They took all these countries and made them part of NATO right away. Boom, 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 boom. Turkey has been waiting 54 years to get into the EU. They haven't got in. But these countries that are near Russia, they were swallowed up right away by NATO and the European Union. Okay, I can understand that. Russia felt like it was being surrounded or threatened. I could understand that. But the whole idea, Russia still is a strong country. Russia has nuclear weapons. Even if they took Ukraine over, NATO, whatever the fuck they did, Russia could respond in case they do something stupid. And they're not going to do anything. Because if NATO and the European Union wanted Russia, they did it in 1989 when Russia was weak. They had Boris Yeltsin, he was always drunk, he was sick, he had a heart attack every 5 minutes. But I could understand Russia's fear or national security fear. But what they did to Putin, it was done deliberately. In 2008, he went into Georgia, right? Nobody said anything. In 2014, he went into Ukraine and took Crimea. People didn't say nothing. Anyhow. So what he was doing, he was borrowing from the playbook of the Nazi Germany. Sorry to say that, because Nazi Germany, the way it invaded other countries is because they had Germans minority, and they said, we are going to go into this country to protect our minority. And what Putin was saying is that we have Russian population inside these countries who are remnants of what used to be the Soviet Union. We have to go into these countries and protect Russia. So what the West did is they knew that Putin was a problem. So what they did is, let's create a situation where we could get Russia into a fucking war and we could bleed it to death. That's what they did. Putin, who's a smart man, he's a made a mistake. Let's see what he has to say for us. I don't know what this is about, but let's just say I want to hear him talk. You know, let's hear.
Берите власть в свои руки. Похоже, нам с вами будет легче договориться, чем с этой шайкой наркоманов и неонацистов.
К восстановлению полноформатного взаимодействия с украинскими партнерами. Ну, давайте будем считать, что это первый шаг и жест доброй воли с нашей стороны.
Берите власть в свои руки.
All right. Let's put it away for a minute here so we can talk. So what the European Union did and the United States did, they used Russia. This is too dark here, man. They used Russia as a. Let me fix the lights here. Hold on, man. I just don't look right, man. You know, I gotta look good here. Okay, hold on. Okay. Let me see. I don't know. That shit's too much lights, man. Forgive me. Forgive me. You know what? I'm just going to do this without the lights, man. I'll fix it tomorrow, okay? Okay. Anyway, what Western Europe did and the United States did, they trapped Russia. They created like cheese. Russia was used like Ukraine to get Russia into a war. So in February 24, Russia attacks Ukraine. Now, the problem is, historically, the country that attacks doesn't have the same stomach for casualties as the country that is defending itself. Very simple. If I'm defending my house, I'm willing to use everything and die. My kids are willing to die just to defend my home. But the person who's coming to take over my house doesn't have the same zeal to take over my house. As soon as he starts losing people, they're getting killed, all of that stuff, then he starts to say, well, it's not working. That's what they did to Russia. And Putin attacked the Ukraine, and he was surprised. The Ukrainian fought back, and they had to fight back because the Ukrainian had no choice. But what they did is they've been training for the last 8 or 7 years in NATO country how to use the weapons they have right now. They've been training them because they know this day was coming, and Russia was going to be trapped into the war. It was a trap. Now Russia is paying militarily and economically. More than 60,000 Russians have died in Ukraine. That's a lot of fucking people, man. In a 1-year war. Now let's see some videos here. Let's see some videos here. All right. Okay, hold on. What is this? Okay. Give me a second. Okay. As you know, this week Russia withdrew from Kherson. That was one of the big places that they took over in the beginning of the war. This is the president of Ukraine there.
Is this the beginning of the end of the war? Is it the beginning of the end of the war? Of course, you see our strong army. We are step by step.
Sorry.
To all the temporary occupied territories, and of course it's a pity, but it's a long way, difficult way, because this war took the best heroes of our country, and so but for us it's very understandable. We don't believe Russia. Yes, and they are tricking with all the world. That's why we are going forward.
Anyway,
we're ready.
Let me shut this guy down. This is the president of Ukraine. Anyway, they don't need to watch these videos anymore. The whole idea is that let me go over here. So because I'm just gonna talk now. I got it. Thank you. I got it. Let me shut this down here. All right. All right, we're back here. So the whole idea is that Russia was goaded into going into Ukraine. When they went into Ukraine, the West was ready. They gave weapons. They gave the best weapons to the Ukrainian army. And the Ukrainian army, they've been training them for 8 years. It's 2014. They've been secretly training Ukrainian forces in Western Europe, in Germany, whatever. in Poland, wherever you want to say. They've been training them on how to use these weapons. Slowly, they put these weapons. Remember in the beginning of the war, Russia said anybody who brings any weapons, we will consider it an act of war, and we're going to use nuclear weapons. After a while, when you talk every day, I'm going to use nuclear weapons. Fuck you. So Western Europe started giving them what? Small Stinger. Then they moved on to tanks. They moved on to these very sophisticated weapons called HIMAR, H-I-M-A-R. And these are the ones that's killing them. Turkey gave them drones. So Russia is being maliciously destroyed inside Ukraine. And you have nobody to blame but fucking Putin. Putin should never bitten on the cheese that they gave him in Ukraine. He should never done that. And the whole idea is you can tell by the losses and the weapons that Russia has. The weapons are no good. Ya hala. Ya hala marhaba. Who's this? منوعات مبررات يا هلا مرحبا شكرا. Hello, how are you? Thank you for listening. شكرا اخواني المتفرجين. خرشوا بسيفة برررا. Anyway, the problem is right now with Russia is the Russian military, they were lying to Putin. Oh, we have the best weapon. We got 500 tanks. They don't have 500 tanks. They got 200. We got 1,000 planes. They don't have. They got like 400. We have like 700 missiles. They only have 300. They were stealing the money. The military was corrupt in Russia. And Putin thinks he has all this power. And then when the war started, he has to buy drones from fucking Iran. He went to Iran. Iran is a country that's been under embargo for fucking, 70 years or 50 years. He has to buy a drone. So in the end, Russia is not going to use nuclear weapons because everybody has the same thing. If everybody has a gun, you're not going to use your gun. In the end, Russia will be humiliated and will be defeated inside Ukraine, and Putin will probably lose his life inside the circle inside Russia, because if you lose a war, people have to. Ya hala, Abdul. Ya hala, brother. How are you? Abla, Assalamu alaikum. So Putin will have to pay. If Russia loses the war in Ukraine, they're going to turn against him, because the oligarchs, the people who own all those yachts, all that money, they lost all that billions of dollars in the war. They didn't need a war in Russia. Russia did not need a war. Fucking America was 20 years inside Afghanistan and they lost. NATO was 20 years inside Afghanistan and they lost. And you come here and you want to get into a war? What are you doing, NATO? What are you doing, Putin? So in the end, I'm going to come to this conclusion. Putin will pay the ultimate price. Either he will be deposed, they will do a coup d'etat against him and get rid of him from the government and get rid of all the top leaders who did the war. Or I don't know what's going to happen in the end, because somebody has to pay the price of all these Russian people who have died in the war. Imagine you call a military, what do you call it? Mobilization, and the Russians are running away. They get on airplanes $5,000. They're breaking their arms and legs not to fight. You're not going to win this war, because historically, when you attack, you are going and you are more weaker than the people who are defending their home. Very easy, very easy. Because the people defending their country, they're willing to lose a lot of people. They don't care, because they have nothing to lose. Because if you take over their country, they lost their country. But when you come over, it's over. Putin miscalculated. Ukraine, I know, was part of Russia for a long time, like for 300-400 years. Matter of fact, Kyiv used to be Kyiv used to be the capital of Russia. People don't know that. A lot of people in America, they don't know that. In Russia, they and Kyiv used to be part of the Ottoman Empire, the Turkish Empire. The only time Ukraine has been independent is for 3 years, from 1919 to 1921, I think. Anyway, in conclusion, Russia is going to lose the war in the Ukraine. Very easy. And other stuff, this is a message to the ADL and the Jewish community. You got to calm the fuck down. Excuse my language. You have to recalibrate. You cannot be. I know that anti-Semitism is bad and it does exist. Hatred does. You know, in the United States, hatred against other minorities is part of the American pastime. People say things to other, oh, look at those Arabs. They go all these grocery stores in black neighborhoods. Yeah. Oh, look at those Irish. They're always drinking. Oh, and most of, you know, people say things under their tongue or in their head, but they don't say it loudly. Kyrie Irving needs a second chance. And if you continue to press on and punish him like that, it's going to backfire and people are not going to believe you anymore. And anyway, the ADL, this group has no business in human rights defending. They have no business in defending even Jews. They have a bad history. They're all about the money. They were raided for spying on American people and Muslim organizations. This is not an organization. It's all about money. They come in there, all right, give us $2 million. If you're taking money, then what the fuck are you doing? If you're taking money from people and you're accused of anti-Semitism, that means that you want to be paid. All right, you said this about us, now you got to pay us $2 million. Does that make sense anyway to you? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this is Omar. I had a lot of stuff to say. I want to talk about the elections, about Donald Trump and all that stuff, but I'll leave that for another day. First of all, to all my friends who watch this show in India and Russia and Persia and Arabia, I want you to support this channel. I want you to watch and learn what's going on in the United States. Because when you listen to me, I'm not talking like the media, like CNN. I'm talking of what's happening and how people feel in the United States. It's the whole thing. It's true. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, I felt good about this show. I hope we're going to get a lot of views, and I hope we're going to get a lot of support by our brothers and sisters all over the world, and some new viewers in the United States. This is Omar. Thank you. Until I see you next time. God bless you, and God bless these United States. Thank you.